morning, I'm Global! Kumusta kayo lahat dyan?
Good morning!
Okay kayo lahat? Yes! Alam nyo, madalas ako napupunta dito sa Mall of Asia Arena na to eh. Pero hindi ganito ang suit ko at hindi ito yung ginagawa ko. So I think, kailangan natin palakpakan natin sarili natin dahil ito ang kauna-unahan kong talk sa Pilipinas for 2020. And I hope magandang pangbuena mano itong A-Global. And I wish that we could come off and have a really very prosperous 2020. Now, ang paniniwala ko, 50% of success in life lies in showing up. Uulitin ko po, 50% ng ating tagumpay sa buhay ay nakasalalay sa ating pagsipot, sa ating pagpadating, pagpakita. Now, it doesn't automatically guarantee success. But I find the reverse is always true. That is, if you do not show up, you have no chance. Ladies and gentlemen, friends here at A-Global, the fact that you are here, you have put yourself in a 50% chance to succeed. I guess we all deserve a round of applause for that. The mere fact na pumunta kayo dito, bumiyahe kayo, pumunta kayo dito, that's already 50% of the battle won. Ngayon, pinakinggan ko yung mga speaker kanina, gagaling magsalita, Georgia and everybody else. Ako hindi naman po ako ganun. Ako lang po ay isang basketball coach. Ngayong gabi, ang ikikwento ko lamang po ay ang storya ng ating national team, Gilas, Pilipinas. Kilala niyo ba yung Gilas? Yes! Pero, tingin ko, hindi niyo alam that Gilas is a story of game-changing. Gilas is truly a game-changing story, as it is a story about breaking barriers. Dahil nung in-appoint nila ako na coach para sa Gilas, nag-retire na po ako sa PBA. 20 years na po ako nag-coach sa PBA. Sabi ko, time to do something else. Pero pinakiusapan ako ng ating chairman, Mr. MVP, sabi niya, hawakan mo yung Gilas. Ang target napakasimple. Simply to lead the Philippines to the Basketball World Championships in 2014 na ginanap sa Spain. The last time nag-qualify ang Pilipinas sa Basketball World Cup was 1974. Isipin nyo, 1974, wala pang pinapanganak sa atin dito noon. Amen? Amen? Sino pinanganak na noong 1974? Wala pa, di ba? So you can imagine, it was a challenge of lifetime proportion. Talk about breaking barriers. Gilas Pilipinas was tasked to break a 40-year, more than 4 decades old barrier. So anong ginawa ko? I did a little history lesson. Pinag-aralan ko anong ginawa natin nung nakaraan. Ba't ba hindi tayo makalusot-lusot sa Basketball World Championship na yan? We are a basketball crazy nation of about 100 million Filipinos, and for us not to compete in the sport's biggest stage is almost criminal. So tinignan ko ano bang ginawa natin nung nakaraan. Nakita ko, sinubukan natin yung American style. Kumuha tayo ng magagaling na coach na Amerikano. Nang nasirang si Ron Jacobs, Tim Cone, Norman Black, kilala niyo sila? Magagaling na coach. They're all Grand Slam coaches, very good friends of mine. Nag-assistant coach ako sa kanila. Pero ano nakita natin? The American style didn't work. Why? We do not have the athletic ability of the Americans. So, nag-iba tayo ng strategy. Nag-hire tayo ng coach from Europe. Taga-Serbia, Rajko Toroman, napakagaling na coach. Again, he became a very close friend of mine. Naging assistant coach din niya ako. But what did we find? The European style did not work either. Why? Because we didn't have the size of the Europeans. Wala tayong athletic ability ng Amerikano, wala tayong size ng mga European. So sabi ko, it's high time for us to change the game, to do something they've never seen before. Sabi ko, hindi umubra yung American style, hindi umubra yung European style. It's time we go back to our original Filipino style of basketball. Mga boys, paano ang larong Pinoy? Paano tayo mag-basketball? Ha? Anong balyahan? Paano ang larong basketball? Yo, hindi masyadong scientific, pero anong tawag doon? Puso, yes. Bara-bara basketball. Diba? That's the basketball that we grew up playing. Naglalaro tayo sa init ng araw, sa asfalto, nakatsinelas, minsan nakaapak. Bara-bara Filipino style of basketball. It speaks to our identity as Filipinos, our creativity, our ability to improvise. But over the years, we tried to be too scientific, masyadong denumero, and it didn't work. Sabi ko, balik natin yung Filipino style of basketball. Bara-bara basketball. It was a huge risk. Hindi pa nila nakita yung ganitong style sa buong Asia. But sabi ko, for us to succeed, two things were important. Number one, we had to be the best team possible. And number two, we had to execute. Teamwork and execution, yan po ang nasa pag-uusapan ko for the rest of this talk for the next half an hour or so. Teamwork and execution. Sa trabaho nyo dito sa AIM Global, as a distributor, as a leader, business owner, how important is teamwork and execution? Everything that they talked to you about earlier, hugely critical, very, very important. It's about how to be best, to be the best you can be. But now it's time to think about, to be able to break barriers, to be able to effect real change, we have to be able to transform that individual greatness and that individual leadership to team greatness, from me to we. That is the story of Gilas. So pinag-isipan ko, sabi ko, wala tayong magagawa sa height ng kalaban. Wala naman tayong mga 7-footer ng China, ng Iran, di ba? Tayo mga Pilipino, tayo pinaka-cute sa Asia, di ba? Hindi, wala na tayong magagawa dyan. Pero yung teamwork natin, our working together habits, our collaboration, our cooperation, that is completely within our hands. So kalabitin yung katabi mo, sabihin mo, team tayo. Yan, kalabitin yung sabihin nyo, team tayo. Sa trabaho ninyo, as a leader, as a business owner, how important is it to have a great team? And to do that, I'm going to share with you our Gilas team model. Sa pagpapractice namin, sa ensayo namin, we created our own team model, the Gilas team model. It is built on trust, effort, accountability, motivation. I like working with models because madali ituro. So mamayang gabi, pag uwi nyo, may makausap kayo bukas, magkwentuhan kayo, may training kayo, sasabihin nyo, napakadali, yung ibig pala sabihin ng team ni Coach Chot Reyes, yung Gilas team pala ay trust, effort, accountability, motivation. So eto na, pinili ko na yung team ko, nag-ensayo kami, nabigyan kami ng isang buwang practice. August 2013 comes around, the Asian Championship start. Dito mismo sa Mall of Asia Arena, this was the historic venue. To qualify for the World Championships, we had to finish in the top 3 in Asia. And like I said, since 1974, hindi pa nangyari yan. Pero we were very confident because we had put together a really good team. So I said, laban tayo dito, let's see what happens. The tournament starts, we win our first 2 games, we lost the 3rd game, pasok tayo sa 2nd round, swinip natin yung 2nd round, got us to the quarterfinals, we won our quarterfinal match, pasok tayo sa semifinals. Eto na, Final 4, 4 na team na lang natitira. We are 1 win away from our dream. Bakit? Pag nanalo tayo sa semifinals, sigurado pasok tayo sa finals. Minimum 2nd place, sure ticket to the World Championships in Spain. Meron lang isang problema. Waiting for us in the semifinals, nag-aabang sa atin yung ating kontrapelo, South Korea. May Koreano ba dito sa Raman? Okay. So, hindi ko maintindihan, nung dumating yata yung ating mga kaibigan from Korea 20-25 years ago, may hinalo sila sa tubig natin. Because for the life of me, basta Philippines versus Korea, sigurado talo ang Pilipinas. Pero sabi ko, ito paghahandaan namin. So ito ang aking insight number 1 when facing competition. Dear leaders, when you build your teams, who are you building your teams for? I built our team for Korea. I didn't build our team for the powerhouses like Iran or China. I built our team for Korea because I knew to get to the top 3, we had to get by Korea. So nung nag-umpisa itong game na to, Very comfortable, kayang-kaya yung kalaban kasi alam na alam namin ang gagawin ng Korea eh. Maski yung tawag nila sa play nila, kamsyamida, ano sa'yo, yung mga salita nila, alam na alam namin yung play nila. Wala silang magawa. Lamang tayo 8 points, 9 points, 10 points. Very easy game. Sabi ko, kayang-kaya natin to. Until disaster number 1 strikes. Alam niyo naman, even in the best laid plans of mice and men, something will always come up. And that something was early sa second quarter, yung kaisa-isa natin magaling na matangkad, si Marcus Dautit, yung ating naturalized player, 6'10", early in the second quarter, goes down with an injury, leaves the ball game, never comes back. 2013 po ito, rookie year ni Junmar Fajardo, hindi pa siya naglalaro noon masyado. Sa team natin na pinakamaliit sa Asia, na wala pa yung kaisa-isa nating magaling na big man. For all intents and purposes, our team shouldn't be competitive anymore. But our players, they do not know the meaning of quit. They keep fighting until we get to the final 3 minutes of this ball game. And at this point, iimbitahin kayo into my world. I'd like to invite you into the world of basketball coaches. And what we do as coaches is we break down video. Nakikita niyo ba yung video sa likod, sa taas? Yes? So here we are. Last 3 minutes of the ball game. We are only 2 points down. We are right in the thick of this match. Laban, maganda ng sitwasyon natin. 2 points down lang tayo. Naglalaro pa tayo dito mismo sa MOA. Punong-puno yung Mall of Asia Arena. Sabi ko, we're in a great position to win this game. Except disaster number 2 strikes. Kilala niyo yan? Sino yan? Jason Castro. Simply our best player in this game. At this point, he already had 18 points. So, hindi siya ma-stop ng Korea maski anong gawin nila. So, anong ginawa ng kalaban? Ayun, binigyan ng konting balya dito sa bibig. Wak-wak yung buong labi niya. His lower lip completely split open. Di natin makita masyado yung tuwalya. It's drenched with his blood. So, think about this for a minute. In the biggest game of our lives, we have lost our 2 best players. We've lost Marcus Dautit, our best big man, and now we've lost Jason Castro, our best scorer. Think about your own business teams, your own organizations here within AIM Global, dear leaders. You're about to complete a huge project. You're about to finish an important endeavor. What if in the home stretch you lose your 2 best people? Paano po pag nawala sa inyo ang dalawang pinaka-importanting tao ninyo sa inyong organisasyon? Do you have that team around them to still get the job done? That's the question facing our national team. In the biggest game of our lives, we've lost our 2 best players. Do we have the team around them to still get the job done? That's the question we will answer in this next 3 minutes.
Well, we need some shooters now on the floor.
Just over 3 minutes remaining. Dalawa lang ang kailangan ng habulin dito ng Gilas. Jimmy stopped on his tracks. Game over, back to Alabag.
Sinabi ko po, para tayo manalo, kailangan teamwork and execution. Instead of talking to you about execution, I will show you execution. Para nyo maintindihan, kailangan explain ko ang aming game plan, offensive game plan. Wala po kaming mga play 1, play 2, play 56.7 para mga ibang team. Bara-bara basketball tayo, wala kaming play-play. Meron lang tayong offensive rules. On offense, our offensive rule, do not attack Korea's best defender. Ito po ang pinakamagaling magbantay. That's Korea's best defender, number 6. Ito po ang kanilang pinakamagaling magbantay. Ito talaga, pag nagdepensa to, daipay asawa ko eh. Wala kang kalusot-lusot. Can relate ba tayo mga boys? So, Korea's best defender, binabantayan si Larry Fonasher, our best 3-point shooter. That means we're not going to attack here. That means somebody else will make a play, just like this.
Fingers bleeding for that leather. Jimmy launches it. Bang!
That's a 3-point shot coming from Jimmy Alabag. We're back in the lead.
One guts by the Mighty Mouse. Abad.
I said the starting point, the foundation of all great teamwork is trust. Dear friends, it is as well the foundation and the starting point of all great leadership. Dear leaders in the audience, job number one, forge strong, trust-based relationships with your people. Because when you do that, you model the value of them forging strong, trust-based relationships with each other. And more importantly, you model the value of them forging strong, trust-based relationships with the clients, with the public on whom you rely to get most of your work done. In your line of work dito sa AIM Global, how important is it to forge those strong, trust-based relationships? And I'm sure you're very familiar with the financial metrics of your business. You all know your marketing plans, you all know your commission schemes, ROI, return on investment, return on equity, alam niyo lahat yan. Trust delivers a different return. I call it the ROR. When leaders invest a little bit of time and effort forging strong, trust-based relationships with their people, and when the team members, like you here in the audience, invest a little bit of time and effort forging strong, trust-based relationships with each other, the ROR, the return on that relationship, is priceless. It is the difference between being a good team, simply a good team, and being a great team. And when I speak of trust, I have to begin with this guy whose face you see behind me. Kilala niya yan? Jimmy Alapag, yes. When I chose Jimmy, meron na akong 8 or 9 men in my team. Ang pang-10 kong pinili si Jimmy. Ang dami nagreklamo. Alam niyo naman dito sa Pilipinas, di ba? Every person and his mother, feeling nila, basketball genius sila. Sabi na, Coach, ba't mo kinuha si Alapag? Bakit ka ako? May dalawa na tayong magaling na point guard L.A. Tenorio, MVP sa Jones Cup noong 2012. And then si Jason Castro, nakita niyo kanina, adjudged the best point guard in Asia. They're talented, they're very skilled, but they're may diferensya ng konti, medyo kulang sa height, vertically challenged. Mga 5'9" sila, 5'10". And binabantayan nilang gwardiya sa Asia, 6'1", 6'2". Kinalaban namin ng Qatar. Ang starting point guard ng Qatar, 6'6". And ito ating mga bulilit, hinahabol sila all over the court. But to make matters worse, I chose as my 10th player, my third point guard, Jimmy Alapag. Siya yung pinaka-cute sa lahat. 5'8" lang siya. Hindi lang siya yung pinakamaliit, siya pa yung pinaka-thunders. Alam niyo ba yung thunders? When I chose Jimmy, he was already 36 years old at that time. So sabi ng mga tao, Coach, ano iniisip mo? Why did you choose not only the oldest, but the shortest? And dami naman magaling na point guard sa PBA. Well, the reason I chose Jimmy is because I trust him completely. Not only do I trust him, more importantly, his teammates trust him. Trusted him enough to vote him team captain. How are you not gonna trust a guy like Jimmy? For a 10 o'clock practice, nandun na siya sa gym namin, alas 8 pa lang. Tinitira niya yung 1,000 3-point shots niya, tumatakbo na siya ng laps niya, nagbubuhat na siya ng weights niya. At si Jimmy, siya yung pinakamatanda, siya pa yung team captain. In other words, siya yung pinaka-McKay na umarte na parang diva. But not Jimmy. Oldest in the team, team captain, first to arrive in practice, last to leave. In other words, Jimmy Alapag is a leader, is a teammate whose attitude, whose behavior inspires trust. Dear friends here at AIM Global, thank you. Dear friends here at AIM Global, as you go about the daily dispensation of your functions and responsibilities in this wonderful organization, do your actions, does your behavior inspire trust? What a powerful, powerful skill to have, a characteristic to have as a leader. And more importantly, unquestionably, the most important characteristic for any team player. The reason why Jimmy Alapag is on my team is because I trust him completely.
Pilipinas 76-75.
Korea. Now, no amount of trust is going to make you a good team. That's why it's called teamwork. It's not called team free or team easy. It's called teamwork. You have to put in the work. That's why the second level of our team model is effort. And when we speak of effort, we have to begin with this guy. Ewan ko kung nakikita nyo. Kita nyo ba yan? Kung sino yan? Si Mark Pingris, kilala nyo? Sino ang asawa ni Mark Pingris? Danica. Sino ang asawa ni Jimmy Alapag? Pag showbiz, alam na alam nyo. Sino ang asawa ni Ranidel de Ocampo? Yan. Mrs. de Ocampo. No, Ranidel is married to Diane. Their kids are Stephanie, Francesca, and little Ranidel, also known as Temradi. Larry Fonasher, married to the former Laura Cahol. Their kids, Liam, Luca. Kate Norwood, married to Leigh Norwood. They have 3 boys, Cash, Orion, and 3 years ago, nanganak na naman si Leigh with another baby boy, si Izzy. Y'all know Jimmy is married to LJ. You know their 3 kids, panganay nila si Ian Maximus, kakapanalo na ng Taekwondo Championship about 3 months ago. Their second, very cute baby girl, Keona Sky, inaanak ko po siya. And yung bunso nila, 2 years ago, nanganak na naman si LJ, isa na naman lalaki, si Kaylen Asher. Pingris, kilala niyo asawa niya, si Danica. Kilala niyo yung 2 anak nila, si Mick at si Kyla. Yes, this is the depth of my relationship with my people. I know everything there is to know about them. I know the name of their wives, their kids, their parents. I know the name of their wife. Di pala pwede plural yun. I know the name of their wife, their kids, their parents, sideline nila. I know everything there is to know about my people. And because of that knowledge, they too know everything there is to know about each other. Ask any player in Gilas, they will tell you we are brothers first, even before we are teammates. Dear leaders in the audience, how well do you know your people? Every leader, Doc Ed, Ariel, Jurgen, the great leaders in the audience are here. They have thousands of you under them. But every leader, I am sure, in this audience, you have your top 10, your first 5, on whom you rely to get most of your work done. How well do you know them as individuals? Not as team members or colleagues or as downlines, but as people. After all, we can only trust those whom we know. I know everything there is to know about my people. And because of that knowledge, I know that Mark Pingris belongs to this team. Because after I chose Alapag as the 10th player, the 11th player I chose was Mark Pingris. Ang dami na naman nagreklamo. Remember, this is 2013, hindi natin alam gaano kagaling si Pingris sa international. Pero sabi ng mga genius coach, ba't ka kumuha ng Mark Pingris, 6'4 and a half sa PBA, big man yan. Pero sa Asia, ang mga bantay niya, isang ulo ang tangkad sa kanya. Unlike si Ranidel de Ocampo, same size, 6'4 and a half, but Ranidel de Ocampo, completos recados. He has great skills. Great 3-point shooter, great dribbler, great passer, complete basketball skills, complete technical skills. In contrast, si Mark Pingris, and ito, secret lang natin ito, huwag niyo pagkakalata. Si Mark Pingris has no skills. Bamban talaga tumira. Diba mga boys? I am sure there are more men in this audience who can shoot a free throw better than Mark Pingris. So sabi ng mga tao, coach, ba't ka kumuha ng undersized big man na wala namang shooting? And dami naman pwede natin kunin sa PBA. Well, the reason I chose Mark Pingris, he may not have the athletic or the technical skills of Ranidel de Ocampo or other players, but his one skill is effort. His one talent is hustle. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot overemphasize tonight the value of effort. I'm not asking all of you to suddenly double your production. All we ask is a little bit, a fraction of a percentage point. No matter how hard, how smart, and how intelligently you think you are working today, we can all work a little bit harder. Incremental improvement, a fraction of a percentage point. Sa basketball, kung ginagawa mo lang 5 points a game, hindi namin sinasabi mag 10 points a game ka. Pero paano kung 5 points a game, naging 6 points a game? Kung ang kaya mo lang 2 rebound, gawin mo lang 3 rebounds a game. The cumulative effect of all those little increments compounded by the 8,000 or 10,000 of you here tonight. Imagine that difference. It doesn't take much technical skill. Doesn't even take a fancy college degree. Doesn't even take much experience. All it takes is good old-fashioned hustle. The reason Mark Pingris is on our team is because he is our poster boy for hustle. And speaking of hustle and effort, I have now to explain our defensive game plan. Kanina sinabi ko, offensive game plan. Ngayon, defensive game plan. Two components in our defensive game plan. Number one, nakita nyo to si number 4? Number one component in our defensive game plan, wag nang pahawakin ng bola to. Don't let their best scorer shoot. At this point, number 4 already had 26 points. Ito talaga, ginawa na namin lahat, pinatid na namin, tinadyakan na namin, siniko na tumatayo pa eh. So defensive game plan, huwag nang pahawakin ng bola yan. Second component of a defensive game plan, you see that arc, the 3-point line? Korea wants to shoot the 3. They will kill you with their 3-point shooting. So two components sa defensive game plan namin. Number 1, huwag pasutin yung pinakamagaling na player. Pangalawa, huwag magbigay ng 3-point shot. Let's see if we're able to execute.
Looking to get the ball in the post.
Yang on the move. Gets it to the wing. Taisol gets those 2 points.
Korea scores 2 points. They go back up by 1. But I'm a happy coach. I feel my team is executing. Why? What did I say? What's our defensive game plan? Unang-una, huwag pasutin yung best player nila. Second, no 3-point shot. We just gave a 2-point shot from another player aside from their best. That's why I'm happy my team is executing. Insight number 2 when facing competition. Understand this. We cannot take away everything the other team is trying to do. We cannot stop all their moves. But the key is to figure out what we can give up that we can live with. Hindi po natin kaya hintuin lahat ng gustong gawin ng ating kalaban. Pero kailangan po alam natin anong pwede natin ibigay na hindi natin ikamamatay. If there is one thing that you take away from today, from this entire day of training, what are the 1 or 2 things that are most important to you here at AIM Global? Ano po yung isa o dalawa napaka-importanting bagay na kailangan pangalagaan nyo ng inyong buhay that you've absolutely got to be the best at? I hope everyone in the audience, I hope lahat po kayo alam nyo sa organisasyon to, ano ang pinaka-importante isa o dalawang bagay. Everything else we can live with. But the 1 or 2 things that are most important for AIM Global, we have to guard that with our lives. We have to be the best at that. We were willing to give a 2-point shot from another player aside from Korea's best. That's why I'm happy my team is executing.
You gotta be careful. You don't want a technical foul at this stage.
Norwood going to
Ito na naman, Korea's best defender, si number 6 nandun, nakatutok kay Fonacer. Ranidel De Ocampo recognizes the situation. 6'4 and a half, binabantayan ng 6'9 and a half. Kung mas malakit ka sa nagbabantay sa iyo, saan mo dadaanin ang laban? Sa bilis, of course, speed. If you're smaller, you better be faster. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are smaller and you are slower, get the hell out of business. Kung mas maliit na kayo, mas mabagal pa kayo, pass your paper na tayo. Umuwi na kayo. But I do not imagine size is the problem of this organization. Look at you, you are definitely not the smallest. But the championship formula, the dominant position, is how can you be the biggest yet the fastest? That's the championship dominant position. So ask yourselves the question, what's getting in the way? May mga ginagawa pa ba tayo na nakakabagal that's getting in the way of our speed? If you are the biggest yet the fastest, then you are invincible. That is really what's going to take you to the prosperity you are talking about. Ranidel De Ocampo recognizes the situation, takes advantage of his advantage.
to De Ocampo. Ronidel looking to muscle his way through.
You know, it's that burst of energy. Whichever team has more energy now, down the stretch, is going to win this. And the crowd has to be behind Gilas Pilipinas. They've got to get energy from the crowd.
Talk to you about trust and effort. Let me speak to you a little bit about accountability. Ano ba sa Tagalog ang accountability? May pananagutan. Ownership. We are accountable. We are responsible for the things that our management or the people around us are expecting of us. Responsibility. How important is accountability is ownership in your line of work. You are the owners of your own business. You are the masters of your own fate. It is your responsibility, it is your accountability to go up, get up early, and do whatever it takes to make your business better. It is not management's job, it is your job. Individual, every single leader, every single person in this audience today, that's your accountability. Take ownership. Kayo dapat ang managot sa inyong kapalaran. Nobody else. It is yours. This is what is good. Ito po napakaganda sa inyong negosyo. That is what I love about this company, the organization. The success or failure lies completely in your hands. Nobody else's. Your number one accountability to the leaders in the audience. Your number one accountability to develop the next generation of AIM global leader. That's your accountability. To those who are not yet leaders, the individual contributors in the audience, your number one accountability is to ask yourself the question, what can I contribute to Team AIM Global? Your number one accountability to be the best team player possible. You do that, you will find that prosperity is within your grasp. On our team, the accountability, responsibility of guarding Korea's best defender lies in the hands of Gabe Norwood. Ni hindi siya nakatingin sa bola, wala siyang pake kung ano nangyayari sa likod niya. Ang trabaho ni Gabe Norwood, guard Korea's best player. Pag itong best player ng Korea pumunta sa comfort room, pupunta si Gabe Norwood sa comfort room. Because that's his job. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have our job. We all have our roles to play here at AIM Global. The owners, management, their role is how to think of new ways, marketing plans, new ways to make your lives better. Your job, put in the effort. Get up early, hit the pavement, do whatever it takes for the plans and all of the programs to work. Now, Korea is a smart team. Nakita nila yung ginagawa natin. Hindi nila ngayon mapasahan yung kanilang best player. So they want to go inside to their best big man. Guess kung sino nagbabantay sa best big man ng Korea? Mark Pingris. Hanggang kilikili lang si Pingris ang bantay niya. Pero tignan natin, if Mark Pingris, kung papatanggapin niya ng bola, 6'9.5 against 6'4.5, tignan natin kung papatanggapin ni Pingris ng bola yung kanyang bantay.
Looking for his big man, Seong Jun. Look at Pingris battle for position.
Pingris fights his man for position, and more importantly, Mark Pingris, who has no skill except hustle. When Mark Pingris man sets a screen for Jimmy Alapag's man, Pingris is now guarding Jimmy Alapag's man. Moreover, Mark Pingris, who has no skill except is now guarding Ronidel de Ocampo's man. I mean, here is a guy, Mark Pingris. He has no skill except, but in one play, he guards 3 different people. Imagine for a minute if you have Mark Pingrises on your team. That's why, dear leaders, figure out a way when you hire and you talk to people how to get Mark Pingrises on your team. The individual contributors, you want to be a Mark Pingris, to be able to do the job of 3 individuals. And the Mark Pingrises of this world, they are very valuable members of any team. Doesn't take much technical skill, doesn't take a fancy college degree, not even much experience. All it takes is good old-fashioned hustle. the willingness to roll up your sleeves and put in back-breaking work. Mark Pingris, after all, he cannot shoot, but he can do this.
Glaring. Nawala ng bola. Sakuragi takes it away.
What a huge steal by Mark Pingris.
And Alabag now wants to set things up.
There's
Tyson
a foul.
gives up the foul.
Wala pa sa penalty ang Korea, malayo pa sila. That's just the second team foul.
Ito na naman, Ranidel de Ocampo. Kanina, dinikitan siya ng bantay niya. Anong ginawa ni Ranidel? Ginamit yung bilis at lumayak. So ngayon, ayaw na siya lapitan ng bantay niya. Sabi ni Ranidel, ayaw mo lumapit ha? Teka.
Free for the three. Yes, sir!
Big basket by Ranidel Ocampo. Now we've got
Another attribute that we associate to the letter A of our team model, aside from accountability, is adaptability. And that's why I'm very glad that Jurgen talked about it earlier on. Adaptability, agility, ladies and gentlemen. At no point in modern organization history is adaptability and agility as important as it is today. Dati po, pagalingan ng teknolohiya. Dati po, padamihan ng pera. Dati po, padamihan ng mga tao. Ngayon, para ka umunlad dito sa ating sinasabing digital age, kailangan po adaptable tayo. Kailangan mapag-angkop, kaya nating umangkop at kailangan maliksi tayo, agile, adaptability, agility. That's what's going to get you forward. That's what's going to show you and get you to the goals and achieve the dreams you want in life. That's the way towards prosperity. Because sabi nila dati, change is coming. And then sinabi nila, change is here. Ngayon, ang sinasabi nila, change is changing. And the only way you can thrive and cope with that change is by being very adaptable and being very agile. So dear friends, ask yourselves the question, what is my AQ? What is my agility quotient? Am I like Ranidel de Ocampo? Pwede sa loob, pwede sa labas. Or am I too one-dimensional? Iisa lang ang kaya natin. The times of the specialists, that's all becoming passé. We've got to be able to keep growing and add new skills, learn new skills, so that we can adapt and we can be agile. And that's how we grow in today's day and age.
play the tough defense. We need a stop.
Tyson against Alabag. They're calling out the elbow play.
No unnecessary fouls.
They go to big.
Finally, Korea gets the ball in the hands of their best player. Ngayon si Ranil, si Dave Norwood, nagpapanik. Sabi niya, yari ako nito, mumurahin na naman ako ni coach ito. Dapat huwag niyang pahawakin ang bola yan, di ba? But let's see if Norwood allows his man to shoot.
Oh, he's got 27 big points already. Yang now.
Norwood forces his man to pass. And take a look at this guy. Look at his feet. Saan siya tumitira? 3 points. Ano sabi ko? Korea wants to shoot the 3. They will kill you with their 3-point shooting. But Larry Fonacer understands the game plan. He follows instructions. He executes. What does Larry Fonacer do?
Is fouled before the attempt. But the Philippines is
Larry Fonacer gives up a foul. Sabi ni Larry Fonacer, kunin mo na yung 2 points mo sa free throw line. Hindi ka titira ng 3. That, ladies and gentlemen, is not execution. That is flawless execution. And I wish I could give you a magic formula for execution. There is none. There is no sexy sauce or magic pill for execution. But what I find, execution is a function of the little things, the fundamentals. Para kayo makapag-execute, you have to listen well. If you know how to listen, you can follow instructions. You will understand the game plan. You can execute. In your line of work, gaano po ka-importante ang abilidad na makinig tayo ng mabuti. How important is the ability to listen in what you do, ladies and gentlemen. No secret to execution.
penalty beneath pressure in the backcourt being applied by Korea. A minute and 10 remain in the semi-final knockout match.
That foul allows us to get our best player back in. Jason Castro, tinahipo ng doktor namin yung kanyang labi. Diyan mo mismo sa bench. 5 stitches sa bench, walang anesthesia. Eh bakit? Tinanong ng doktor Jason, gusto mo ba nung, ano ba yung ineksyon, yung pampamangka, di ba yung pampamanhid? Tinanong ni Jason, gaano katagal bago tumalab yan? Mga 10, 15 minutes. O edi tapos na yung laro. Di ba? Nag-start tayo ng video, 3:39 Hindi tayo pumunta sa commercial, wala namang time out. In 2 minutes, 33 seconds, si Jason Castro, pumutok yung labi niya. Tinahi ng 5 stitches. And now he's back on the playing court. What have I found about great players against good players? The great players, you cannot keep them off the court. The good players will find every excuse. The good players will say, traffic, lakas ng bagyo, umuulan, strict yung parents ko, lahat na lang palusot, di ba? Great players, no excuses. You cannot keep them off the course. Amen! Marami ata natamaan ha. Yes! So, automatically, anong ginawa ng Korea? They see our best player in, automatically, they put their best man, their best defender on Jason Castro. Now, Jason Castro has every right to ask for the ball. Sabihin ni Jason, akin ang bola. Ako highest pointer, I'm hot, give me the basketball. Not Jason. Not only is he a great player, more importantly, he's a great team player. He understands the game plan, he executes. Jason Castro sees Korea's best defender on him. So what does Jason Castro do?
Spreading the floor is
Jason Castro spreads the floor, creates all this room, all that space for another teammate to make a play. Dear leaders, a very underrated facet of teamwork is the ability to give each other space. Dear leaders, you want to develop your people, you want to grow your people. Do you have the selflessness, the teammanship to spread the floor and create room for your people to make a play? And thank you. And to those who are not yet leaders, the individual contributors, are you willing to sometimes spread the floor and give your teammates room to make a play? Very important part of building teams and creating great teamwork. Doesn't matter how many training programs you put your people in, unless you give them space, they will never grow. Unless you give them room, they will never develop. Understanding this, and I hope you take this very seriously, dear leaders and the individual contributors. When you give each other space, they will make mistakes. Inuulit ko po, mga leaders, pag binigyan po natin ng puwang at ng pagkakataon ng ating mga tao, magkakamali po sila. Not a matter of if, but when. Sigurado po yan. Magkakamali at magkakamali ang ating mga tao. But as leaders, our job is to say, what happened? What will we do to make sure it doesn't repeat? And go again, I've got your back. That's what great leaders do. The great teammates will say, okay lang yan. Anong gagawin natin para hindi na yan maulit? Sige, sagot kita. I've got your back. That's what great teammates do. It's the same thing with trust. Dear leaders, when you trust, you open yourselves up to the possibility of that trust getting thrown right back at your face. When you trust, you open yourselves to the possibility of that trust being betrayed. But I think it was Abraham Lincoln who said, I'd rather trust people get disappointed once in a while than not trust anyone and be miserable all my life. Making mistakes, getting that risk of betrayal, that's part of our job. Part of being agile and part of being resilient is to understand that things are going to go wrong. Mistakes will happen. That's part of courage. That's part of creativity and innovation. Mistakes will happen. It is your job. It is how you handle it and how you react to it as leaders that really separates you from being just the regular person. The great leaders, they know how to turn those mistakes into teaching opportunities. Of course, the honest mistakes. Mistakes on integrity, mistakes on trust, that's different. But the honest mistakes, that's part of the job. Those are the things that we do all the time as leaders. And so, I like what I'm seeing. Everyone in their right spots. I'm very relaxed, I'm confident. I know that my players are going to do the right thing because I like what I'm seeing. Jason Castro in the wing, Gabe Norwood in the corner, Ranidel De Ocampo in the opposite wing, Jimmy Alapag in the middle of the floor with all that room to make a play. Dear leaders, as coaches, our job is not to shoot the ball. As coaches, our job is to make sure our people are in the perfect position to make the shot. Dear players, as individual contributors, your job is to make that shot. Your coaches will put you in the perfect position. Your job is to make that shot. That's why I'm happy everyone is in the right place. Except di ko alam anong ginagawa ni Mark Pinglis dito eh. Para naman kaya niyang ishoot pagpasahan siya ng bola dyan, right? Pero wala akong magawa, hindi ako makareklamo. Trust, di ba? Gusto niya tumayo dyan, di bahala siya sa buhay niya. I have complete trust and faith in my players. Mark Pinglis cannot shoot, but at the exact right moment, not too soon, not too late, he does this.
Jimmy Alapag allowing space for him to penetrate and drive.
Alapag has 6 seconds to work with.
Ibangga na kalaban. Mark Pinglis sets a screen that allows Jimmy Alapag to do this.
Jimmy launches it.
Jimmy Alapag got it back. That's a 5-point lead. Now there's pressure. There's pressure in South Korea. They want the timeout. But it's not over. It's not over even with a 5-point lead. We've got to be able to hold our strength.
Oldest guy on the floor, shortest guy on the floor.
Timeout para dito sa Korea with only 50.
Check this out. Hindi natin makita, kalahati lang ng katawan niya nakikita natin si Mark Pinglis eh. But what is Mark Pinglis doing here? The biggest hustle play in Philippine basketball history the past 40 years. And you know what? If I didn't point it out to you, you wouldn't even have noticed it, right? Kung hindi ko tinuro sa inyo, hindi niyo mamamalayan yan. Such is the value of the hustle play. That's why, dear leaders, our job is to validate and acknowledge the value of our hustle stat leaders. Yung ating hustle players, napakalaki po ng importansya at importante yan sa ating team.
Only 54 seconds to go.
This is the shot heard around Asia. Everybody celebrates Jimmy Alapag for making this shot. But let me ask you, as good a shooter as Jimmy Alapag is, could he have made that shot if Pinglis didn't screen, if Castro didn't spread the floor, if Norwood didn't play great defense? No! It doesn't matter how individually talented you are. Unless you are willing to subjugate your personal interest for the good of the team, you are worth very little. That's all it is, ladies and gentlemen. Forget everything you heard about team building and teamwork. This is what real teamwork is about. When members of the team are willing to sacrifice their personal interests for the good of the team. Knowing fully well that when the team wins, the benefits redound back to the individual. Leaders, this is what we should be talking to our people possibly on a daily basis. Keep acknowledging them for doing things that promote great teamwork. Sometimes it doesn't show up on the bottom line right away. But eventually, all those little things, all those behavior and actions put together, they mean a lot.
Oh.
Jimmy Alapag makes that shot. Korea calls a timeout. Buzzer sounds. Naalala ko dito, Mall of Asia Arena. Everyone is sabi nga, pag-ingay dito, nagkakagulo lahat ng mga tao, yung mga players, high five, fist bump. Everyone was very, very excited. And Jimmy Alapag, sinut niya yung bola, tumatakbo siya, narinig niya yung buzzer, then he stops and he looks. And I remember this look as if it were yesterday. Jimmy is looking at the bench. He's looking straight at his coach. And with that look, Jimmy is saying, "That's for you, coach. Thank you for your trust." Dear leaders, dear everybody here in the arena this evening, I think now is the best time as any to think about that one person to whom you owe your being here to. Isipin po natin yung isang tao na pinaka-responsable kung ba't kayo nandito ngayon. Dito, part of this wonderful organization, in this wonderful facility. And perhaps if you can, whisper a word of thanks, but more importantly, ipangako nyo sa taong yon that you're going to be a person worthy of that trust. How do you do it? By being the best damn person you can be. By being the best damn team player you can be. That's how you repay the trust of that person who brought you here today. Play, please. Now, we're up by 5 points. Korea calls a timeout. So now, kailangan natin dumipensa. Jimmy Alapag is one of our better defenders. So tinanggal namin siya, replace, sinab namin siya. Pinalitan siya ni LA Tenorio. And we see this in professional sports all the time. Di ba sasabihin ng superstar, "Coach, kakashoot ko lang ng 3 points, ba't mo ako linabas?" But not Jimmy. Sabi ko, he will do whatever it takes for the team to win. Pag nasa loob siya, kailangan natin ng shooter, si Jimmy yung shooter. Pag linabas natin siya, from shooter, Jimmy is now head cheerleader. Chief prayer warrior. Whatever it takes for the team to win. Di ba mga leaders and teammates, sometimes kailangan natin mag-assist. Minsan kailangan natin mag-screen. Minsan kailangan natin magpasa. Madalas kailangan tayo ang head cheerleader. At mas madalas pa tayo ang spiritual leader. Whatever it takes for the team to win. That's why Jimmy is on my team.
Kapit bisig, buong Pilipinas. Korea down by 5. 50 seconds to try and make it up. Gilas looking for a stop. Minggu, putataka ni Gabe Norwood. Ranidel, nauna si Ping. Andiyan din si LA and Gilas will waste away the time.
Oh, what a big defensive effort on the part of Gabe Norwood. Yun ang sinasabi natin, kailangan natin ng isang tao to stop King Min-soo. And that had to be Gabe Norwood, the best defender.
Now, check out our players. Championship point, walang nagsabi ko anong gagawin. Di kami tumawag ng play 1, play 2, 57 point. Wala kaming ganang play. Championship point, they get the ball in the hands of our best player, Jason Castro. Because Korea's best defender is here, guarding LA Tenorio. So anong ginawa ni LA Tenorio? Spread the floor, create all this room for another teammate to make a play. Ako, my job, head cheerleader. Because I like what I'm seeing. Everyone in their spots. Kanina si Castro to, ngayon si Tenorio yan. Kanina si Norwood yan, ngayon si De Ocampo yan. Earlier this was De Ocampo, now that's Norwood. Before, the ball was with Jimmy Alapag in the middle of the floor, and now it's with Jason Castro in the middle of the floor with all that room to make a play. That's a team, ladies and gentlemen. Pagbali-balik na rin mo man sila ng posisyon, alam nila ang gagawin. That is what drives flawless execution. When each individual member knows his or her role, and more important, they know how their role plays in the entire big picture. That's what drives great execution. Pagbalik-balik na rin mo man sila ng posisyon, alam nila ang gagawin. That's why I'm happy, I like what I'm seeing. Everyone on their spots. Uy, pati pala si Pinglis nandyan. Montik lang mawala sa eksena. Nagtatago sa bola baka mapasahan pa siya. Tingnan mo nga anong ginawa ni Jason Castro dito.
On the Philippine team,
Eh, pinapaalis nga ni Jason, ay, tumabi ka nga dyan. Nakaharang ka dyan eh. Remember, Pingris cannot shoot, but he can do this.
26 seconds away para maburo na ang pangungod ng Korea. Castro, Pingris leads it up!
Offensive rebound. And the Philippines is up
Ang
by 7.
masipag, pinagpapala.
Could be the Philippines winning this game.
Yang for three, no!
That's it.
Pingris with a rebound!
Gonna win this.
And the curse of Korea is about to be broken here inside the MOA Arena.
The Philippines is in the finals of the FIBA Asian Championships. What a victory!
Gilas, Pilipinas books a ticket to Spain next year. Nasa finals po tayo bukas kontra Iran. What a performance by Gilas. Kalahati ng ball game ni hindi na nakalaro si Marcus Dalton. Pero yung mga bata natin kinito, puso, lahat iniwan, buwis buhay type of basketball ang ginamit team.
Thank you. Hindi ko naman sinasabing magbuwis buhay kayo para sa AIM Global. But I'm sure gets nyo lahat ng sinabi ko. In the end, the Gilas story was an actual case study in game changing. An ability to change, we changed the game completely. Huge risk, we changed the game, but with teamwork and execution, we made it happen. We made that breakthrough happen. A 40-year barrier since 1974. This win got us to the World Championships in 2014 for the first time since 1974. In the end, the Gilas story is very simple. Here is a group of men, they trust each other. They put in backbreaking effort, and they are accountable to deliver the oftentimes unfair expectations put on their shoulders. And finally, we cannot end without talking a little bit about motivation. Tinatanong palagi sa akin ng mga tao, Coach, ano bang sikreto ng Gilas? Bakit buwis buhay basketball? Bakit ang hirap nila talunin? Ang hindi nila alam, ang mga player po ng Gilas, wala po yan sweldo. Uulitin ko po, wala pong sweldo para maglaro sa national team. Our players, they play 10, 11 months out of the year in the PBA. In the off-season, they give up their vacation, their time with their family, their rest, because in the off-season, they spend training with Gilas for no additional compensation, except the opportunity to wear Pilipinas across their chest. That's real motivation. And there's nothing wrong, wala pong mali, there's nothing wrong with compensation, commission, incentive scheme, bonuses, there's nothing wrong with that. But real motivation is a heart issue. It is what is inside our heart. Kaya ang tatanungin ko po sa inyo lahat ngayong gabi, what is inside your heart? What drives you to make the effort to be here, to do what you're doing? Get in touch with that. What is that one thing that drives you? Get in touch of your real motivation that's in your heart, your intrinsic motivation. Get in touch with it, nurture it, patibayin nyo, palaguin nyo, because that's what's going to allow you to really break beyond limits and break beyond barriers. The special people, the high achievers, they have a very real sense of motivation. Kami sa Gilas, our motivation is very simple. We will fight till we cannot fight anymore for our country with all our hearts. Laban, Pilipinas, puso. Yan po ang ibig sabihin ng puso. Yan po ang nasa sa loob ng aming puso. Dear leaders, dear friends here at AIM Global, ano ang nasa sa loob ng inyong puso ngayong gabi? Allow me to end with the final video that traces where all that puso talk comes from. I think it's best we remember where we came from. Ako si Chot Reyes, from Quezon City, Tubong, Malolos, Bulacan. Malaban ako para sa Pilipinas.
I am Marcus Dalton from New York, and I play for the Philippines.
Ako si Chot, taga Bacolod, lalaro para sa Pilipinas.
Ako si Bubelga, taga Bicol, naglalaro para sa Pilipinas.
Ako si Larry Share, taga Quezon City, naglalaro para sa Pilipinas.
Gabe Norwood from Pennsylvania, naglalaro for the Philippines.
Jimar Fajardo, from Cebu, naglalaro para sa Pilipinas.
Ako si Carl David, tubong dinulupian mata, naglalaro para sa Pilipinas.
Ako si Rani Del Ocampo, taga Hulugan at sa Cavite, lumalaban para sa Pilipinas.
Ako si Chot Gilas, taga sa Small Pampanga, at naglalaro para sa Pilipinas.
Ako si Mark Tigris, batang Puserdoy Pangasinan, naglalaro para sa Pilipinas.
Ako si Jason Castro, taga Pampanga, naglalaro para sa Pilipinas.
Ako si L.A. Tenorio, taga Nasbu, Batangas, lumalaban para sa Pilipinas.
Ako si Jamil Abag from California, and I play for the Philippines.
Remember who we're playing for, gentlemen. Let's all stand up, please. Pwede ba tayo tumayo? Please, aim global. Can we do a Gilas Pilipinas? Look at the person beside you. Mag-fist bump kayo. Sabihin nyo, ako si Chot Reyes, taga Bulacan, lumalaban para sa aim global. Yan. Katabi nyo, sa likod nyo. Yes.